The floor beneath my boots hums with a strange energy, and my heart is pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. Thousands of eyes, some with pupils shaped like slits, some glowing faint blue, some without any visible eyes at all, are locked on the center of this massive hall. I do not know why I am standing here. One moment, I was in a holding line with the rest of the human delegation, and the next, guards made of living crystal pulled me forward and placed me in the front row, right beneath the throne. The air smells like ozone and something sweet, almost like burnt sugar. My hands are shaking, but I press them flat against my sides so no one notices. Around me, ambassadors from 100 worlds stand in perfect silence, waiting. This is the choosing, the ceremony where the Queen of the Hive Dominion selects her consort, the one being in the galaxy who will stand beside her, protected by her power, feared by everyone who fears her. I am Daniel Voss, a low-ranking translator from Earth. Nobody important. Nobody who should be standing this close to the throne of the most powerful being in known space. The Queen rises. She is taller than any human, her body covered in shifting plates that catch the light like polished obsidian, her eyes an endless void with tiny stars burning inside them. When she moves, the whole room seems to lean toward her, like she pulls at something deeper than gravity. I have heard stories about her from the older diplomats. They say she has outlived 100 empires. They say when she is angry, ships fall out of the sky without being touched. She walks along the front row, slow, deliberate. Every delegate she passes straightens their back, lifts their chin, tries to look worthy. A tall alien with silver skin and 4 arms bows low, offering a jeweled staff. She does not stop. A group of beings that look like living flame flicker brighter, trying to impress her with their glow. She does not stop. My legs feel frozen. I do not know what to do. I am not trained for this. I was only sent here to translate trade documents, not to be paraded in front of a queen who could end my life with a thought. Then she stops in front of me. The entire hall goes silent, so silent I can hear my own blood rushing in my ears. She tilts her head, studying me the way someone studies an insect they have never seen before. I do not bow. I do not know if I am supposed to. My knees feel weak, but some stubborn part of me refuses to kneel to something I do not understand yet. Instead, I do the only thing that feels honest in that moment. I meet her eyes, and I do not look away. A murmur ripples through the crowd, alien voices whispering in dozens of languages. I catch fragments through my translator earpiece. Insolent, reckless, foolish, creature will be destroyed. But the Queen does not strike me down. She leans closer, her massive frame casting a shadow over me, and for a long moment, nothing happens. Then she speaks, her voice low and resonant, vibrating through the floor itself. You do not fear me. It is not a question. I swallow hard before I answer. I am afraid, I say, but I do not think fear should stop me from looking at something honestly. Another silence, longer this time. I can feel hundreds of alien eyes burning into the back of my neck, waiting for her to end this moment with violence. Instead, she reaches out one long, plated hand and touches my shoulder, so gently it barely registers as pressure. I choose this one, she announces, her voice carrying across the entire hall without her needing to raise it. This human will be my consort. For a heartbeat, nobody moves. Then chaos breaks loose, in whispers and gasps. I hear chairs scraping, robes rustling, someone nearly falling over in shock. The silver-skinned ambassador who offered his staff earlier steps forward, his 4 arms trembling with anger. This is unacceptable, he says, his voice sharp and clipped. A human, a creature from a species barely out of its own solar system. This is an insult to every ancient house gathered here. The Queen turns toward him slowly. The temperature in the room seems to drop. I feel it too, a pressure behind my eyes, like the air itself is being squeezed. You question my choice, Ambassador Kelvorn, she says, and his name comes out like a warning. He hesitates, but pride keeps him talking. With respect, my queen, the great houses have waited centuries for this honor. Surely a creature that has not even mastered starflight for more than a few generations cannot understand what it means to stand beside you. The queen does not raise her voice. She does not need to. A ripple of energy pulses outward from her, And every delegate in the room, even the silver-skinned ambassador, drops to one knee at once, as if their legs simply stopped obeying them. Only I remain standing, because her hand is still resting on my shoulder, and somehow that seems to shield me from whatever force just passed through the room. "I have ruled longer than your entire species has existed," she says, her voice now cold as deep space. "I have watched 1,000 proud houses posture and preen before me, offering gold, offering armies, offering empty promises of loyalty. Not one of them looked at me the way this human just did. Not one of them told me the truth, when the truth could have cost them everything." She looks down at me again, and something in her ancient eyes seems almost curious, almost gentle. "He did not lie to please me. He did not perform. That is rarer than all the treasures of your ancient houses combined." Kelvorn opens his mouth to argue again, but before a single word leaves him, the crystal guards surrounding the throne shift their stance, weapons humming to life. He closes his mouth instead, lowers his eyes, and says nothing more. Nobody else dares to speak either. The silence stretches, heavy and complete, until the queen finally releases the whole room from whatever grip she held them in. She turns back to me, extending her hand, palm open, waiting. "Will you stand beside me, Daniel Voss of Earth?" My mind is racing. This is not a request I ever imagined receiving. I think of my small apartment back on Earth, my ordinary life, my ordinary job. None of that prepared me for standing at the center of galactic history. But I also think about my planet, small and new, still finding its place among older, stronger worlds that mostly look down on us. If I refuse, what happens to humanity's standing here? If I accept, everything changes, not just for me, but for every human who comes after me. I place my hand in hers. "Yes," I say, "I will stand beside you." The hall erupts once more, but this time, it is not outrage, it is something closer to awe. Word spreads instantly through the assembly, alien diplomats already recalculating the value of an alliance with Earth, already whispering about what this means for trade routes, defense pacts, territory. In one single moment, humanity goes from being an afterthought at the edge of the galaxy to being tied directly to the most feared power in known space. The Queen leads me up toward the throne, and for the first time since I arrived, she speaks to me quietly, meant only for my ears. "You wonder why I chose you," she says. "It is not because you are strong, or wise, or powerful. It is because you were honest when honesty was dangerous. My kind lived for thousands of years, long enough to watch civilizations rise and fall like tides. In all that time, very few beings have looked at me and simply told the truth, instead of trying to gain something from me." I glance out at the crowd below, thousands of alien faces staring up at us, some in fear, some in curiosity, some already scheming how to use this new alliance to their advantage. My heart is still pounding, but something inside me settles, just slightly. "I did not do it to gain anything," I tell her honestly. "I know," she says, and for the briefest moment, something almost like warmth flickers across her ancient, alien face. "That is exactly why I chose you." As we reach the top of the platform, she turns to address the entire hall one final time, her voice carrying effortlessly to every corner of the massive chamber. "Let it be known across every world represented here today," she declares, "humanity now stands under my protection. Any harm done to their people, their worlds, or their interests will be answered as if it were done to me directly." The weight of her words settles over the room like a physical thing. I watch as ambassadors from empires far older than my own species bow their heads, some out of respect, some out of fear, but all of them understanding that everything has just changed. Earth is no longer a small, forgettable world at the edge of known space. Overnight, without a single battle fought, without a single treaty signed in the old way, humanity has been placed under the protection of the most powerful being in the galaxy. I stand there beside her, still barely able to believe what just happened, staring out at a sea of alien faces that only minutes ago saw my species as nothing more than a curiosity. Now they look at me, and through me, at all of humanity, with something entirely different. Respect, caution, maybe even a little fear. I think about my parents back on Earth, about my friends, about everyone who has no idea that their world just changed forever, because one ordinary translator refused to lie to a queen who could have destroyed him with a single word. The queen leans down slightly, her voice quiet again, just for me. "This is only the beginning, Daniel," she says. "There is much I still need to show you." I nod, still holding her hand, still standing tall despite the fear still coursing through me. Whatever comes next, I know one thing for certain. Humanity's place among the stars has just changed forever, and it started with one honest answer, spoken by one ordinary man, in front of the entire galaxy.